This is episode 2. So let's just hop right on in where we left off. Episode 1, I kind of introduced you to the little bit of background there is to this game, as well as explained a few of the basic mechanics of the game and got you a little acquainted with the environment here. So now in this episode, this is pretty much from this point forward going to be sort of a let's play / guide for those who are just now discovering this game, going, oh my gosh, I need to download this, and then coming to realize, crap, I only have a few days left in order to try to get my Mark of the Conqueror. How on earth am I going to do this? Well, my friends, I will show you. So in the last episode we left off, we had just dropped down the ladder over here, which is going to be helpful in order to get to the second shrine. Let's go ahead and start headed this way. And the first thing you will come across is right there. This is going to be a creature that at this point in the game you have not encountered. But fear not, for I have. These are some sort of zombie-like creatures. Not exactly sure what they are, what their purpose is. They are obviously humanoid, but not exclusively human, it seems. They might be some sort of a creature in Japanese lore I'm not familiar with. They're not all that powerful unless you start playing very clumsily. So when you start just going in, just you know, not really paying attention, they will get you, especially if there's a gang of them. Alright, now this archer up here, even though he looks like, hey, I should have seen you, he doesn't. So what you want to do is creep up behind him and chop his head off. Because you're an awesome samurai, and that's what awesome samurai do. Now, down here, these two fellas right here, the guy with the torch, he's just another guy. Whatever. He's not the problem. The big problem is this other dude with the spear. He has significantly more health, his strikes hurt significantly more, and overall, if you can avoid combat with this dude, it's recommended. Obviously there's some items down there. Don't think it's anything you're going to be terrifyingly in need of. However, if you are hell-bent on going ahead and getting these items down here, what I would recommend is getting his attention first. So in order to do that, we're going to go ahead and highlight him and throw a rock at him. Now doing this will make sure that you only aggro him. Now there might be another guy around here who gets the aggro as well, his little partner in crime. But it at least makes sure that we don't aggro the couple of guys who are off closer to the campfire. See, this guy's powerful. I don't even remember what level I am in for this character. What level am I? I think I'm only level 2 or 3. Let's try that one more time. But once you obviously achieve the proper level to where you'll stand a chance, you know, that's definitely the strategy you want to use for that guy, is to go ahead and try to throw a rock at him or something to get him to climb up there. So this way you don't have to deal with the patrols that walk through there. Ooh, that stuff seems to be better equipment. Let me get my Amarita back and equip them. Alright, so we're going to try this again. I can never get over that animation. That still just blows my mind. Alright, so that's one of the guys who you want to make sure you avoid aggroing if you're trying to attack this dude. There's also another guy. Let me see. He'll be approximately off in that area. There's his torch over there now. And he'll come up all the way almost right into here. And then there's a couple of guys over there. I don't know if you can see him, but that guy standing up, he actually has a arrow, bow and arrow. So he'll actually be able to hit you from pretty far off. And also, tucked off, if you look on the right side of the screen, you see how there's kind of a path that goes up there. There's a guy kind of waiting in there, and he'll want to jump you the minute you walk into his view. And then also, I don't know if you can see that shack over there. There's also another guy. He's more or less just chilling, just hanging out. He's not on high alert, ready to go. But he will be a threat if you aggro all these people against you. That's generally not the strategy you want to go with. So we're going to try one more time to see if I can't get this right this time. Now we've got a little bit better equipment. Run back down in here. Actually, make sure they can see me. Alright. Second time is the charm. Ah, yes. And he dropped something much better than a spear in my personal opinion. Axe. Alright, so now that we've taken care of those guys, go ahead and catch this dude's attention. Alright. Now, off to the left, right here. Right here. That guy is who I was talking about a minute ago. So we're going to go ahead, try to catch his attention without getting hit. Ah. Oh. Overexhaustion. I'm still used to my other character having much more Kai. It's been a couple of days since I used this guy, this little weakling. No matter. We can just do this again. Ah, better sword, better leg option, I believe. Yes. So finally we get to ditch these mariner pants. Oh yeah. Alright. That's definitely gonna help. much better that time. For now. Dealt with them last time, so we're gonna go ahead and get this. Which I wheatstone or whetstone. So whetstone is what's gonna definitely come in handy, definitely in the later game, because it allows you to increase the durability of your weapons. So early game, it's not really. You can pretty much just hoard them because you're gonna be constantly changing your weapons as you get better and better. But once you start getting closer to the late game, where alright, you pretty much got some of the more powerful weapons, and you know, you're kind of stuck with them or going down to lower tier weapons, definitely gonna want some whetstones to increase the durability of your weapons so they'll last longer. So now we've dealt with that guy. All we have left over here is guy with bow and arrow. So what you want to do here, see, he's ready for me. He already knows I'm over here, but I'm hiding behind this tree. So what he's gonna do is run out over here. What that does is make him put away his bow, and it's that easy. Come over here into the shack, search this guy, and you finally get the longbow. So finally you'll be able to do some ranged damage. Now this is the alternative strategy to dealing with those two bozos over there. As I said earlier, if you are hell-bent on doing battle with them right that moment, you can come up here and highlight this guy. I'd always just recommend highlighting this guy. I mean, you can throw a stone at either of them, but I mean, you throw a stone, you do at least a little bit of damage, so might as well do the damage to the one who needs to be hit more to end up going down. So if you're hell-bent earlier on getting this guy, alright, you can throw the rock and get their attention, but the strategy I personally recommend is go do all this stuff, take care of all these guys. Now you have your bow and arrows, and you can start really doing some damage to them, because arrows obviously will do more damage than a stone. What I also love is that because it zooms in and gives you more of a defined target area whenever you're drawn, it kind of lets you have a little different point of view when you're you know, wanting to plan out attacking an area. You can kind of zoom in a little more, get more from a better perspective on what you're about to go into. So that's always nice. Now, matter of fact, while I'm here, off in this way, I don't know if you can see, but right there, there's an item. There's also two enemies over there. Another little bozo dude who's not all that difficult, but there's also another big bad boy, similar to that guy who killed me earlier. Regular dude, he's gonna jump out at you from off on the left, and of course I'll go over there here in a little bit and show you, but he'll try to jump at you with I believe an axe off on the left side, and then the powerful dude, he's actually if you were to walk farther up that way, he's actually standing kind of up there. Let me see if I can't get a different angle, and of course that guy with the torch over here is just patrolling. It's the same guy. That guy with the torch is the same guy who will end up coming back up over here. But the powerful guy, who is similar to this man over here, he's actually posted. I'm trying to make sure if I can get a good angle on, because I want to show y'all. Is that him? Yeah, that's him right there. So all of that being said, before we go any farther and do all that stuff, this is really key. Once you've defeated the guys over here, what do I do now? Should I go over here and defeat those guys? Should I run over here and defeat those guys? Get the cool stuff? Well, yeah, you want to do that, but not quite yet. Because what you want to do is come up this path and find, ta-ta, the second hidden shrine. Go ahead and do a little prayer. That activates the shrine. Now, next time we die, we will appear here at this shrine. so you won't have to start all the way back at the very beginning of the game again, which is very nice. Very, very nice. Since we have the Amarita, let's go ahead and level up. Now, a buddy of mine, Nathan Fox, he is getting into this game. He's all over it. But I started playing this first and obviously beat the game already on my other character. And he just started playing a couple of days ago and is still on this first stage of the game. So he was kind of asking me stuff, you know, like, hey, what should I do here? What should I do there? And I could guide him a little bit, but he also asked me, you know, as far as leveling up, hey, what should I level up first? What should I level up first? And I don't remember if I addressed this in the first video or not, where I did some leveling up here. But it's all up to your personal play style. It depends on you. All I can say for sure is the descriptions themselves. So, for example, increasing your strength. That's what it does. You'll get a little more life. Both weapons, both your katana and or tachi, as well as your axes and hammers, and I don't know if spears are affected by this, but they should be, increase just a little bit. You get some samurai skill points, your Kai Pulse increases, your ninja skill increases, and your magic skill increases. And that's what that does, right? Stamina, it'll affect your life and how much weight you can carry. What does that really translate into? That means you can use heavier equipment. So when you start getting into the late game, where you'll have, you know, the Warlord armor sets, the Veteran armor sets, the unique armor sets. I forget what the weight ratio is for the unique armor set, but I know it's one of the higher tier armor sets. So once you start getting into the, you know, the more weighty armors, you know, sure, you can keep your stamina at the base 5, but you're going to experience problems later on, because when you go to equip all these awesome armors that'll increase your defense ratio by however much, you're going to notice that every time you swing your little sword or your big axe or your long spear, that suddenly your guy's very tired. And the reason is that when you go over your weight limit, how much weight you can put on your character, you know, the weight of your armor and equipment, once you have exceeded that limit, sure, you can still walk around and, you know, swing your sword and your spear, your axe, your hammer, all that cool stuff, but the problem is that it comes at the sacrifice of Kai. Every time you do an action while you are over encumbered, while you are overextended, you know, overweight, whichever terminology you wish to use, you will exhaust your entire Kai supply. Your entire Kai supply. And that's supposed to be your penalty for exceeding your weight limit. So you will then have to go back and use lesser quality armor. You know, armor of less weight, in order to balance that back under and into your weight limit. So when you have stamina, you're good. You can carry more weight. I will tell you, as a friendly heads up for anyone wanting to go down that path of, okay, let me go ahead and start leveling up stamina, you know, anyone who wants that strategy of, okay, well, early game, I'll focus on stamina, because you'll also notice that not only does it allow you to carry more weight, it does increase your life significantly, you know, more so than anything else. It does affect some of your weapons' damage. It does increase your defense. It will give you samurai, ninja, and magic skill points. So your early game strategy might be, okay, let me go ahead and focus on stamina, get that out of the way, then I'll have the ability to wear all these cool armors later on, and focus elsewhere as my playstyle develops. That is a very intelligent playstyle. It's not the only one. It's not the only intelligent one. It's not the only option. It's not the only one that makes sense. There are plenty of other ways you can think about this. That's the way I chose to approach this situation, was from that same thought process, though, of, okay, let me invest in stamina first. So I invested personally, my first playthrough, in stamina going all the way up to 10, and then I just redistributed my points as I played. You know, as I felt, okay, for what I'm trying to get myself into, maybe I should invest in magic a little more. Hey, maybe I'm using my sword a little bit more around this area. Let me go ahead and invest in dexterity. Skill. You know, hey, I'm using my ninja stuff a little more. I want cooler ninja things to get past this area. You know, let me invest in dexterity. Stuff like that. But then I started getting the cool armors and realized I still don't have anywhere near enough stamina. So, as a little bit of a hint for anyone thinking early on, I'm going to invest in stamina in order to eventually have the ability to wear all these cool armors, you know, or even for people who would just like to know, hey, you know, I want to wear these cool armors, how much stamina should I have? If I am not mistaken, the Warlord armor set combined, you know, so the Warlord helmet, chest, legs, shoes, the whole armor set, I believe, is the heaviest armor set. I'm not saying it's the best. Don't ever get that confused. Just because something's the heaviest doesn't mean it is absolutely the best. But it is the full Warlord getup. You will need 15 stamina points in order to... Alright, I got it up. I was at 14 stamina when I unlocked the final piece of my armor set the first playthrough, which was the arms. Or the gauntlets, however you choose to label them. But that piece was the last piece that I collected, and I was wearing the full rest of the armor set when I collected it. So I already had the Warlord helmet on, the chest, the legs, the feet, you know, everything else, and then I think I had the Rogue arm, if I'm remembering correctly. So, but when I switched out and put on the Warlord arm to complete the armor set, it was too heavy at 14 stamina. So I had to invest, do a little bit of farming to get enough Amarita to go ahead and reinvest in one more stamina point. And then I was allowed to wear the whole set. At 15 stamina point, I never felt the need to increase my stamina again. So I'm going to go ahead and this playthrough, go ahead and start getting stamina out the way as well, because once again it also affects life, and as we saw earlier, I can die pretty easily at this point, so get a little bit of life while I can. Alright, so we're going to finish up here, and there's an item over here. What is this? Ah, Sphere Stone. Now at this point we have some options. I can either go back over here, re-defeat these enemies, or I can come up here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to come up here to show y'all what is up here. And yes, I am walking because there is one individual up here who's going to want to kill us. So if you look on the left side of the screen, there he is. I believe he has a spear, if I remember correctly. No, an axe. up here, now we defeated this guy. Just kind of want to give y'all the general layout of the land. So when you come up here, you're going to notice over there, there is an item. And of course this item over here, we'll go ahead and collect it. It's not an item, it's more information. If you go back over here, and this is around where that axe-wielding guy is standing. Come over here. Oh, you must have seen me. Yeah, there's one guy down here. That one guy down there. We're not going to worry about him right now, but if you come over here, there's an item right down here, but we have to drop off in order to get to it. Now, when you're first over in this area, you want to go ahead and double back around and go defeat all of those guys who are back off over there. Then come up over here and drop down. And I say that because when you drop down, you're going to be close to the area that I previously defined as where the one guy is on patrol, and close to where the other guy with an axe is waiting to jump out at you. So go ahead and double back over here and take care of those guys, and then you can worry about dropping down and getting the cool thing. And there's also something really cool I want to show y'all. So let me go ahead and take care of these guys. And this is a live broadcast, so not going to be any of that cool cutting out and getting to the main point like some of the other gamers channels can do. Ooh. Ooh. You know what? Let's go ahead and... they got too close to the shrine. That was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Oh well. I'm not perfect. Never claimed to be. Thought I could be a little quicker. Alright. Not perfect, but it went over a lot better. So, as I was saying, let's go ahead and drop down here. Let's see if we can get his attention to come up here. I don't want to face him over there. Risk getting jumped by multiple enemies. God, I love that sword animation. Alright, so, see where that glowing thing is? That is the item that we were looking at when we were up there, looking down. Other cool thing I want to show you is if you look up here at the top of the screen, you see that little dude? These little guys, I don't know exactly what they're called, but when you go back to the shrine, you can choose different types of blessings. They cost 100 gold, or coinage, whatever, and when you receive a blessing, you'll get different benefits. You can have increased percentage of Amarita dropping, increased percentage of armor, weapons, ammunition, or elixirs. And what you always want to look out for is look out for all of these guys and make sure you collect all of them, but you can tell which one this guy is by his hat. They wear different hats. Their hats define their roles. So when we pick this guy up, he's going to be able to allow us to have a 5% increase in armor drops should we choose the blessing of the armorer. I believe that's what it's called. The armor smith, blessing of the armor smith, blessing of the armorer, something like that. They named them, but all you need to know is it's got a hat like that, and you choose the blessing. When you get back to the shrine, you choose the blessing, you'll be able to have 5%. And for each new little dude you pick up, it'll increase the percentage amount by 5%. So you get this guy, 5%. You find the second dude, 10%. Third dude, 15%. So on. But you always got to make sure you pick up the ones with the right hats and know where they are located. So, I don't know if you can see, but over here on the right side of the screen, that's the guy waiting to jump me with the axe. And then, can we see him from here? Yeah. Over in the top right, or I'm sorry, top left of the screen, that's the bigger guy. So we'll catch this guy's aggro, and easy as pie. Let's see. You know what? While we don't have his aggro, let me just go ahead and take this opportunity to show you exactly where we're at from another perspective. Alright, so that fire down there, that is close to where you start the game at. You start the game closer over there with the boat, you make your way, you fight that one easy dude looking over a body, and then this is where the guy with the axe and the other guy with the sword are, close to that little shack. And then you run up somewhere in this direction, and I don't know if you can even see well enough with those damn trees. Let's see if I can pick this up. Alright, so we have that right over in that direction is the path after you defeat the guy with the spear. You run up here. There's two guys down there in a little arena, what looks like a little arena with the scarecrow and whatnot. And then if you were to go, you see that glowing bloody grave, if you were to go into there, that is where you get jumped by that guy, there's a guy down here, yep, there he is, right there, and there's also, you see that door, he's right there, you can kind of see in the window, just slightly to the right. You can kind of see his sword shining, reflecting. So those guys will come and jump you. But anyway, here's this guy. Ah, come on. Now we'll get this item. Never have to come back over here again. Ooh, a better axe. I've been picking up better equipment and not even knowing it. Go ahead and learn a new skill. Go ahead and unlock some shuriken. Definitely get a Yokai talisman. That will help later on, already having that unlocked. We'll go ahead and get better versus the Yokai Realm. And I'll dive into what a Yokai Realm is later. Not sure if I covered that in the first video. I don't think I did. Don't know if I have a reason to. We'll go ahead and unlock that. Alright. Now we've taken care of all this crap. Got to go back to my grave. Good thing I didn't die. God, I love the little sword animation. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump down here. Pick up the cool item thing. Spirit stone. And guide. Oh, that's what they're called. The Kadoma. Or Kadama. So guide the Kadama to the shrine. He's all happy. Yay, yay. Now when we go to the shrine, we'll be able to obtain the blessing of the armorer, or whatever that particular one is called. Let's go ahead and do that now. The quicker we start obtaining better equipment, the better. The ability Ready Jutsu has been unlocked. So because I finally invested in a ninjutsu and have unlocked it, Ready Jujutsu, or I'm sorry, Ready Jutsu has been unlocked. The ability Receive Kodama Blessing has been unlocked. So this is the Kodama Blessing. So you have the Oracle Blessing, Swordsman. This one was called the Warrior, not the Armorer. Healer, and Hunter. So, and as you can see here, we found one. So it will increase our armor drop rate by 5%. And that's just overall. So we're going to go ahead and get that. As you can see, as we find others, we will be able to unlock different blessings with different results. And the Ready Jutsu So, as you can see, there's two different types of jutsu we can ready. Ninjutsu and magic. Nioh magic, but you can just call it magic, because there's no other kind of magic in the game so far as I know. So, instead of trying to figure out how to say Nioh correctly and making sure that you're saying it correctly, otherwise your Japanese and weeaboo friends are going to laugh at you, just call it magic. So we can ready some shuriken, and what this menu is doing is there is a ninjutsu capacity and there is a magic capacity. You can equip however many of each you want, as long as you have the capacity to fit them in your inventory. That's kind of what that's hinting at, is your capacity, your equipment capacity. How many of these particular things you can hold. How many you can have on your person. Now the cool thing about ninjutsu and magic talisman is you can use them, have no more left, and when you next go and pray at a shrine, your inventory of them will be refilled. So, as you can see, this indicates that I have 6 shuriken. I can use all 6, come back to the shrine, it'll reload me with 6 more shuriken in my inventory to use. Now the same goes with magic talismans. So this is the Yokai talisman. It says that it creates a compact barrier that purges the Yokai Realm pollution and enhances Kai recovery speed. Now, Yokai Realms. There are creatures in this game called yokai. Those who have heard the term before, you know, watched a little anime, read into a little bit of Japanese history, played other games with yokai mentioned in them, you kind of have an understanding of what they are. For those who don't know, this is the first time you've ever heard this word. Yokai, as far as this game is concerned, are ogres and other similar types of creatures. So technically, unless I'm wrong, but I believe the proper term that these yokai should really have in this game, I think they're closer to oni than yokai. I might be incorrect, I might be misremembering information, but I believe that the Japanese ogres, you know, I believe the literal translation of oni is ogre. That's oni with Romanji of O-N-I. I believe that the literal translation is ogre. And not like a little happy, you know, silly looking Shrek kind of thing. No, like seriously scary ogres, you know. But yokai are more like how we would think of demons and such. You know, creatures that go bump in the night, so to speak. So the yokai realms that are in this game are created by yokai. So you'll come across certain areas where these yokai appear. And when they appear, they will appear inside of a yokai realm. A yokai realm is pretty much a circle, a small circle area in which when you, as a human, when you are inside of these realms, your Kai will not increase you still have some. Whatever you had going into the realm with is all you got. As long as you're in that realm, your Kai will only ever decrease. And I believe your life actually slowly decreases as well. And I also believe, I might be wrong at this, but from my observations, it seems that when you are battling yokai inside of a yokai realm, not only do they become more powerful, generally speaking, but I believe they also have increased abilities. For example, some yokai that I've encountered when I'm in the yokai realm, for whatever my reason might be, usually I'm really good at avoiding yokai realms, as everyone should be. You should avoid yokai realms. But, that being said, if you find yourself in a yokai realm, I've noticed that some yokai will actually grab me and like take a huge chunk, a huge bite out of me, throw me to the ground or throw me across the map a little bit, you know, and I've only ever noticed them do that when I'm in the yokai realm. I might be wrong, but I believe that they can only do that when you're inside of the yokai realm. Now, not only is there one yokai realm that appears in the initial area of the yokai where it first emerges from, but the yokai can also deploy more yokai realms. Deploy might not be the proper word here. Summon. They can summon additional yokai realms as battle progresses. And depending on how that particular yokai cares to fight this battle out, you might 30 seconds, a minute into a battle with a yokai, find yourself amidst 10, 15 different yokai realms that you now have to play very carefully to avoid. So definitely always keep an eye out for those, because again, even if I'm wrong about the additional abilities, even if I'm wrong about the increased strength, even if I'm wrong about your life decreasing, one fact that I can say without a shadow of a doubt, it's not 99.9% sure, I'm 100% sure, is without a shadow of a doubt, your Kai will not increase. And anyone who's played this game for 5-10 minutes will very quickly understand that running out of Kai will kill you. So if all else is false, the undeniable truth is Kai will not increase. Therefore, avoid them. Just avoid them. Now the cool thing about this Kekai talisman, when it says it creates a compact barrier, what it actually does is you'll notice a visual effect on your character, almost like you're glowing in holy light, for lack of a better visual explanation. So it's almost like you have a holy light around your person. And compact barrier, don't get the wrong idea, it's not a static thing that will defend you from yokai realms. Instead, I would better explain it as it turns your character into a weapon of sorts, and that weapon purges yokai realms from the world. So, for example, let's say one of these yokai deploy or summon a yokai realm. When you activate this talisman, for a period of time, you will be able to go into these realms, and when you go into the realm, not only does it protect you from the ill effects of the yokai realm, but it will actually disperse the realm. So the realm will no longer be an issue for you. Even if the time limit on using that talisman runs out and you no longer have that ability, that area is no longer affected as a yokai realm. So it definitely will help if you happen to, in the next few days, by some miracle or through sheer dedication, hard work, awesomeness that you've got going on, if you find yourself in the second stage of this alpha demo, fighting off against Nioh, oh man, you're definitely going to want to bring some Kekai talismans to that fight, without a shadow of a doubt. While we're here, let's go ahead and do some more leveling up. Focusing on stamina worked well for me the first time. So I'm going to go ahead and do it for this playthrough as well, at least until I get to 15. Didn't run away quickly. Alright, now, one thing y'all want to take notice of is the fact that there's this path going down over here, and you'll notice it ends. What you'll also have noticed is this item down there. Yes, you can't look all the way down. It is a long bow, so I guess for point of realism, it doesn't let you look directly at the ground, because holding a longbow in this manner, you wouldn't be able to look all the way down. So, but you see it up here. That glowing thing. It's an item, right? And you also see that guy with the torch. That's the dude who was shooting at me earlier. Now, don't assume that, oh, well, I guess I can't go this way and then run off. No, 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 no. You can't. Just run right off. Come right over here. And look at this. Found another dude. Another little pedant. This one will actually increase by 5% our Amurata drop. I don't know if there's something in that box. I think there's usually something in that box too. But anyway. Close up this guy, takes his flaming arrows away. And he becomes easy prey. Well, sometimes there's stuff in that. In that one, it has a higher chance of having items in that particular box than most others. Let me go ahead and use it. Well, I will. Now I've taken care of that guy, because I didn't want to have him come and interrupt. So this area we're in now is very important. Okay. What you want to do, you see this well and you see this rock? Hit it. Some sacred water. Anytime you come across one of these wells, go ahead and smack that rock landmark. Now, to open this door, you will need the key. The key is in here. Specifically, right there. You see how there's a flame similar to that? That little item right there is the key. Now you'll also notice this swirling mass of something. This odd, not so pleasant looking cloud. Obviously that's probably something big and bad. That entire cloud right there, there is a yokai right there. So if you just go running on in, a gigantic ogre-like thing will appear and will kill you. So don't do that yet. We are not high enough level for all that mess. No, 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 no. What we can do instead is come in here. Don't run in here either, because ta-da! Random dude. Now we're gonna pick up this item. Oh, look at that. First warlord piece. Sweet. Look at how nice and fancy it is. Ooh. What this warlord set really reminds me of, it kind of reminds me of Oda Nobunaga. How he's portrayed in some games. It's almost kind of like this, where it's almost a samurai style, but it'll have that metal chest plate and the chainmail. Ah, yes, I forgot to equip. Let's forget about these stones. Let's equip my shuriken. Get this sacred water. Equip the Kekai Talisman. Ah, now let's learn some more skills. Ah, yes. I can't believe I didn't unlock that already. This ability I just unlocked, I will demonstrate to you now. Pretty much, when you're looking at an enemy, you press R1, and then press and hold circle. Sweet. What's in here? Spirit Stone. Nagawa Glue. Ooh. That's really good. Okay, Kadama. And a Travel Amulet. Alright, so the Travel Amulet and the Nagawa Glue. Two awesome things. Now, I've never really used a Travel Amulet because, well, I've found no need to yet. But both of those items are really awesome. Travel Amulet, as you see, has a really nice little description. An amulet blessed by the gods of safe travel. You use it, you'll be transported back to the last shrine which you prayed. Pretty simple. All your Amarita, all your equipment, all your stuff, and you're out of danger. Nagawa Glue, however, is one of my favorite items in the game because it restores the durability of any equipped armor by 50%. Yet initial closer to the end game when you have all of these cool armors that have really high defense and awesome stats and, you know, the higher end level stuff, and you kind of want to keep it. Nagawa Glue. So you have the Whetstone, which is for your equipped weapons, and then Nagawa Glue, which is for your equipped armors. Alright, now, there's also one other thing I want to show y'all real quick before we do any more battles. It's this over here. So many people have not noticed that area. When you're back here, look, this little path right here. Fucking go there. Now why? Because there's this guy. Summon me. Level 15. What level are we? Let's see. Alright. Level 9 against a level 15. Let's try it. Cheat a little bit using elixir. I usually don't when I'm fighting against bloody grave enemies, but so close. But the reason I want to fight him is I didn't fight him in the last my last character, but I believe that for where we are currently at, as far as levels and armors, I think he drops some equipment that will be helpful to us. Finally a Youngblood piece that we can use, even if it is some feet. Youngblood outfit, whether you know it or not, is the outfit in which William, the main character, is portrayed in most of the artwork for this game. That cool little white set with the cape. Yeah, that whole thing. It's called the Youngblood set. Now we're looking more like a samurai, huh? Yeah. Here's the funny thing. This guy William is pretty freaking cool. Running around here killing all these Japanese and yokai fools. Nowadays, he's a weeaboo. And I don't know if I went over this in the first video. I think I did a little bit, but this guy, William, in this game, is based off of a real-life dude named, I believe, William Adams, who from the time he set foot in the camp to the end of his life, the definitely became a samurai, served 2 emperors, was a direct advisor to, I believe, the Tokugawa shogunate, as was his son. Some may call him a weeaboo. Isn't that kind of funny? Something that's meant to be an insult. And this dude ended up having a pretty awesome life. Didn't want to give the wrong impression that you can't even get this close or it'll activate some of the yokai. Nah, you gotta get a little closer. But we're gonna try one more time. This video is running quite a bit longer than my first episode, so I'm gonna try to fight this summon me one more time. Let's see if we can end this video on a good note. Come on. Come on. Back here in this area where there's no enemies. Come on. Ah, crap. And I forgot. Alright, let me see. Alright, I forgot to use that before I started this battle. Damn it. Me personally, I don't like using spears, but damn, man, that extra reach hurts. Damn it. Thank goodness he missed. Damn it. Oh well. Guess we're just not good enough yet. Well, we're gonna go ahead and end the video there. I know episode 1 I said I would, I ended the video indicating that I would be submitting episode 2 the following day. Any of y'all who made it this far into episode 2, right up here to the end, I want to go ahead and personally apologize to y'all. I did fully intend to make episode 2 the following day after episode 1. However, some personal issues came up, which did not allow me to go ahead and fulfill it that day. I'm actually currently working, me and my team, we are currently developing a video game ourselves. So I ended up getting really caught up in that, then had some personal issues, then tried to forget about those personal issues by just diving head first into some work that needed to be done on the game. And full honesty, it completely slipped my mind that I even had made the alpha demo video. But definitely I will be continuing this. I will end episode 2 here. I will go ahead and pick up episode 3, and it will start off right where we leave off now. So anyone who's made it this far, thank you for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, whatever you feel like doing. I understand at this time my channel is not very popular. I've never meant for it to be. However, for those who care to know, now would actually be a great time to give a darn to start submitting to my channel, because with my upcoming game, we will be doing, me, the team, Project Roz, will be working and submitting videos, giving updates as to the progress of the game. Eventually we'll start putting game trailers up. The game is a 2D, not 3D, but two-dimensional RPG. Has a very retro feel to it. It'll remind people of certain age. It should remind you of games that were coming out in about the early mid-90s. But the graphics engine for this game was released November last year. So even though it is two-dimensional, even though it is kind of pixelated, that is intentional to give you that kind of a retro feel. But everything else about the graphics is so much better than anything that could have been put out in the early, mid, or late 90s. So if you do enjoy retro feeling games, RPGs in particular, go ahead, hit that subscribe. And not too far away in the future, we'll start putting out updates. There will be a video that I will make introducing giving a bit of an introduction both to the game and the team that will be providing it to the world. Kind of introducing you to the team of Project Roz. So go ahead, keep an eye out for that. Anyone who's just doesn't care for all that stuff, who's just here for the Nioh, keep an eye out. Episode 3 will be out and on the YouTubes within 24 hours. Thank you for watching.